Hello, my name is Carol from the Hunger Management team. We have a question from Laura, a Hunger Management Society member. She asked the following question.
For autophagy to be significant, doesn't it take up to 2 to 4 days? I know everyone is different depending on metabolism and other factors, but was curious.
Before we begin, let me address an important issue. Molecular and cellular biology is perhaps the hottest field in science today. Active research is global and revealing the potential for great leaps in health and longevity. However, the science can be overwhelming for many. This is one of the purposes of the Hunger Management Society group here on Facebook, to bring updates and discussion to everyone. A universal message about the human hunger drive that is the cornerstone for decreasing lifespans around the world. We hope to turn this primal drive into your well-trained pet. The photo seen in the PDF download posted on Hunger Management Society group is one of our members. Thanks to Dalton for his creativity. Now I will turn the discussion over to Christopher from the Hunger Management team.
Hello, I'm Christopher. First, thanks to Laura for such an important question. Autophagy is a term well on its way to becoming mainstream. However, at present, still remains complicated for many. Dr. Thompson is helping many to understand this term and its application in our everyday life. So, let's try to answer Laura's question. There are misleading blogs about autophagy, especially about the timing element. For example, in the blog Whitney ERD entitled The Truth About Autophagy, she seemed surprised about her misunderstanding of this metabolic process and urged readers to do more research. She may have failed to understand that cells are continually engaged in eliminating metabolic debris through different types of autophagic mechanisms that I will briefly discuss. However, the Hunger Management team does not promote any specific diet like ketogenic, as do many websites and bloggers. Not promoting diets for profits is because our ancestors survived eons of time without such specificities. We know that they had many variations of low-calorie high-nutrient diets provided by the natural world of the wild. In modern times, reducing the frequency of meals is the best approach for adults. Whitney found out firsthand that much of the scientific materials are dense and challenging to understand, even for some professionals. It takes years of studying cellular and molecular biology. Such complex material could dismay most from further interest and reading. In this audiovisual regarding autophagy and hunger management book, we try to use a common-sense approach with skillful explanations of the latest scientific revelations. The level of complexities is easily demonstrated in the above illustration showing some of the mechanisms of autophagy. The following is perhaps one of the best answers Dr. Thompson could find from a blogger regarding the timing of autophagy. This blogger started with the question, how long do you need to fast for autophagy? They stated in the blog the following.
Depending on the individual's metabolism, significant autophagy may take 2 to 4 days of fasting in humans. Autophagy begins when additional energy sources are needed to drive cellular life when glucose and insulin levels drop considerably. Some studies have detected autophagy in humans after fasting without exercise in about 24 hours. No conclusive studies on humans indicate an optimal period of fasting to achieve autophagy.
Common sense tells us that hungry hunters hunt, see the book Hunger Management, which we simulate by exercise and fasting, which initiates autophagy in less than 24 hours. Under these conditions, the cells get access to additional sources of energy. As Laura mentioned, we are all different to some degree, but the differences are pretty slight. So, Laura, if you were to sit around for 2 to 4 days resting or bedridden, it could take that long for macroautophagy to take place. However, with strenuous exercise, our bodies use up the available glucose in the muscles and liver with subsequent access to alternate sources through lipolysis of triglycerides found in fat cells to produce free fatty acids and autophagy to gain further access to internal structures found in virtually all cells. We have incredible and highly adaptable metabolic mechanisms for survival. Autophagy happens in far less time compared to rest, especially for the athlete. The scientifically correct name for this mechanism is macroautophagy, and simplified by just saying autophagy, which is now generally used with most literature describing dietary restrictions and inside the book Hunger Management. The alternate use of these terms makes it more confusing to understand the different types of autophagy, even for many professionals. For purposes of fasting, we are primarily concerned with macroautophagy for energy use when exercising and fasting. Now I will list some of the various types of autophagy. But, keep in mind, the one that Dr. Thompson discusses in the book is actually macroautophagy. However, the simplified term is just autophagy, and is used in this way across many media platforms by many authors. We hope to clear this ambiguation for our members. That's another reason why Laura's question is important. A bit confusing, but as you learn more about fasting hunger and hunger management it will become clear. We start first with macroautophagy, which involves sequestering cellular debris and senescent organelles within a vesicle called the autophagosome to be degraded and used for energy and rebuilding new structures like mitochondria. The process of autophagy is a series of metabolic steps induced by AMPK during food scarcity or fasting. The difference is that microautophagy and chaperone-mediated autophagy are active even without fasting or exercise to eliminate and recycle metabolic debris that will be described next. Microautophagy is the process cells use to engulf components within the cell via lysosomal membrane invagination or protrusion without prior formation of an autophagosome. The vacuole containing debris separates from the membrane, becoming internalized within the lysosome as a microautophagic body. Like in macroautophagy, the microautophagic garbage is digested by enzymes into macromolecules that can be recycled. Finally, chaperone-mediated autophagy, CMA, is unique from the other two types of autophagy in that the process does not involve the generation of autophagic bodies. Like microautophagy, CMA also occurs independently of the autophagosome. However, CMA omits lysosomal invagination. Instead, chaperone proteins recognize debris inside the cell targeted for degradation by their protein sequence motif. This chaperone cargo complex results in the translocation of the unfolded protein debris, making it ready for digestion by enzymes. Growing evidence indicates that the rate of autophagy, microautophagy, and chaperone-mediated declines with age. In addition, a progressive increase of free radicals and the age pigment lipofuscin inside the cell further diminishes the cell's efficiency to clear debris. Therefore, the integrity of several of these autophagic processes appears to be critical in the progression of aging.
Thanks, Christopher. Well done. Before we go further, let's talk a moment about lipofuscin. It is a non-degradable substance inside the cell, basically debris. This debris consists of old mitochondria, aberrant proteins, and other senescent organelles generally used for energy, recycled, or eliminated. Lipofuscin accumulates particularly in long-lived cells like brain cells, heart cells, and retina cells. Deposits of lipofuscin play pivotal roles in cellular aging and further hampers autophagy. As the aged mitochondria accumulate, ATP production goes down, oxidative stress increases, causing more damage, thus developing into a positive feedback cycle. As discussed in the hunger management book, positive feedback cycles are mostly pathogenic processes where a change in one direction leads to a change in the same direction. This type of feedback negatively affects homeostasis, adaptability, and promotes cell death. A causative factor in the development of Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, among others. In composite, multiple factors influence the time to autophagy like age, activity level, and fasting. Other factors include various disease states such as thyroid disorders, cancers, disorders of metabolism, infections, toxins, and drugs. Big Pharma is working on drugs that will activate autophagy to cash in on big money. But keep in mind this process has been conserved over perhaps millions of years. Autophagy is active during strenuous exercise and nutrient scarcity, during fasting hunger. Basal autophagic activity is present in all cells and plays a homeostatic role, allowing the use of basic molecular components like amino acids as building blocks or as an energy source. Remember, hungry hunters hunt, and the hunt may not always be successful. The younger you are when hunger management begins, the longer you delay aging and associated disease states. The self-control of our hunger drive combined with strenuous exercise has health benefits that go far beyond just weight control. Simply put, frequent feedings are similar to animals with fast metabolic rates and are known to have shorter lifespans than animals with slow metabolic rates. The facts show that since 1974 rates of obesity tripled, and lifespans decreased as we headed into the 21st century. Inefficient or inactive autophagic activity will lead to the accumulation of abnormal proteins called cellular debris. Also, the formation of intracellular aggregates like lipofuscin. Finally, autophagy plays a critical role by regulating growth and integrating with the adaptive immune system. Autophagy provides a mechanism to help eliminate infectious pathogens. It is best to use autophagy regularly, not in large spurts through excessively long periods of fasting. Time-restricted feeding is emerging as the easiest way for most to activate both a metabolic switch and autophagy. For more information about metabolic switching, see the index in the book Hunger Management. We will also be discussing metabolic switching soon at the Hunger Management Society group on Facebook. For more information, visit www.hunger-management.com.
From the Hunger Management Group, we would like to again thank Laura for her important question.
From all of us at the Hunger Management team.
Live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper.